Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. I tell stories that are true and sometimes I base them with true cases around the globe. Thank you for supporting my channel, and if you are a true crime fan, subscribe to my channel. Today's case existed from Netflix's revenge TV drama The Glory. It depicts school bullying scenes. In the drama, Park Yeon-jing, a principal bully in Moon Dong-yoon's senior year, burns Moon's body in the school gym with a hair curler in retaliation for Moon reporting Park to the police. It turns out that bullying by burning was actually inspired by a true story. In here, a middle school student has been physically abused by her peers for about 20 days. The depictions of abuse were reminiscent of the hair curler bullying incident that took place in May 2006 at a girls' middle school in Cheongju, North Chungcheong Province. In May 2006, an ordinary day, the Chungbuk Provincial Police Agency received a report from a 16-year-old middle school student surnamed Jung from Cheongju. She cried out in pain as she pleaded with police officers to save her. They studied the girl's condition and noticed that she needed help after finding bruises and wounds that appeared to be serious. It was on May 2nd, 2006. After school, Jung was getting ready to head home when suddenly she was stopped by three of her classmates and began to ask her questions. She was a shy girl and always felt self-conscious. She was not close to any girls. She preferred to remain silent instead of answering back. The girls are likely irritated by her, and so they started beating her up. They tortured her for the next 20 days. According to Jung, they constantly asked for money from her. She was severely beaten every time they asked money from her that she could not provide. They would knock the victim around using a baseball bat and scratch the victim's chest with a safety pin, which left scratch marks all over her chest area. The victim was physically abused by their fists and feet, thereby leaving bruises all over her body. It was extreme that inflicting grievous bodily harm on the victim's arms and legs with the hair curler in the classroom was ultimately traumatic on the victim. This was because hair curlers can be heated as high as 200 degrees, which can cause severe burns. The month-long physical abuse also resulted in a protruded tailbone, which led to a 6-week hospitalization. While in an interview with a local news outlet, the victim stated that she had no time to heal her wounds because the bullies would burn her body every few days and use her body to check the curler's temperature. According to the victim, the perpetrators even removed her skin with her nails as a form of punishment. She also revealed that her main abuser tortured her with a hair curler while the two other perpetrators held both of her arms so that she could not move. When the victim screamed in pain, the main culprit threatened to kill her if she made any noise. A police investigation was launched and the victim named 3 girls to be questioned. All the 3 girls strongly denied any wrongdoing. To begin with, police hit a wall in their investigation as the victim's testimony changed and she implicated 3 other girls in her abuse. Nonetheless, it turned out that the victim had been forced to name 3 random classmates by her main abuser. The innocent girls and their families were subjected to a relentless and overwhelming attack of hate calls and threats. Nevertheless, police officers were able to identify the perpetrators when the primary perpetrator unexpectedly confessed to all the crimes. Kim, the primary perpetrator, described what she had done in detail to the police, and she was later charged with assault. On June 2nd, the Cheongju District Court issued an arrest warrant against Kim, mentioning specifically the brutality and gravity of the incident. As claimed by the police, Kim acted as if she was the victim's best friend. That is why no one among her classmates and teachers could have known about this. Kim would tag along with the group and they would do everything together. Her classmates and teachers were shocked when they found out that her best friend had abused her in a terrible way and they did not suspect anything wrong with the relationship. A loud and vocal expression of disapproval ensued when school authorities were busy defending themselves by denying knowledge of any abuse instead of investigating it. They said they spoke to both sides but received contradictory stories, so they turned over the case to the police. The victim's father was angered by this, so he filed a complaint against the school. The repercussion of it is that the school and teachers were given administrative penalties for the negligent actuations toward their students. Kim was the only one arrested. However, she was subsequently placed under monitoring by her parents or a probation officer. This does not leave a criminal history. The other perpetrators were taken into custody by their parents. The court could have acknowledged the fact that it was their first offense as the grounds for putting them on probation. During an emotional interview with local media, the victim's father said she suffered terrifying dreams and in the middle of the night, she woke up screaming like the dreams were real. Although she kept silent about the gruesome things that were happening to her at school, when all is said and done, she silently told her father that she wanted to transfer to another school. His father said in the interview that he felt remorse by not paying enough attention to her urgent plea back then. Based on compiled data by the Ministry of Education over the past 5 years, school bullying cases that have been investigated by the board have increased. 150,000 students during this period were subjected to school violence. 68% of the cases did not even leave a trace on the perpetrator's student record. Only 2% of the bullies were transferred to another school and 1% were expelled. There was an incident in July 2021. A Mongolian middle school student in Busan was forced to drink alcohol, tied up, and beaten by her classmates. The bullying was filmed and it lasted nearly 6 hours. There were even derogatory remarks about the nationality of the student. In the recorded video, the bullies left drawings on the victim's body, forced her to drink her urine, and fed her cigarette butts. But the teens were not punished with a proper jail term for this horrible abuse. The perpetrators were only punished with social service. Once more, it left no criminal record. With the harshest punishment for school violence being expulsion, victims feel that the perpetrators are getting off what they did lightly. hence discouraging them from reporting it, like Kim posing as the victim's best friend while secretly torturing her. Bullying, for the most part, occurs under the radar of adults and peers. These peer-to-peer abuses needs more attention and care. And that was the case about a student in Cheongju who had to undergo horrible torture by her classmates. The victim will continue to suffer from the scars left on her body and the horrific memories of the abuse. This was inspired by the Korean drama The Glory. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.